Is my hair okay?
Yes.
Okay. Hey guys, this is Benny.
And this is Drew. And today we are going to review the trailer of Love is War. I could not find the IMDb for Love is War, the Nigerian movie, but there is a short description I found online which says, all is fair in love and war until a loving couple have to face off each other for the office of state governor. So that sounds pretty interesting.
Intense, actually.
So here we go. I don't know if this is the trailer, but this is the only version I found online. This movie is on Netflix. So if you like the trailer, we check it out.
Mrs. Phillips, tell me, how does it feel to be the first female PPM gubernatorial candidate?
I know that I'm the best person for the role, irrespective of gender. Good evening, Your Excellency.
Even better than your husband?
I am now your advocate. I am the one that will listen to your cry. This is going to destroy us.
With us, nothing can destroy us.
Why are you running against each other?
Hey, ask your father.
Get him away.
So what struck me is, it seems the child, the daughter asked, why are you fighting against each other? And the mother says, ask your father. So it's like, why should only the woman sacrifice? Right?
Yeah.
Maybe because it is expected in society that the woman should be the one to sacrifice, the one to back off. So that's why she says that, it seems.
Oh, I didn't see it that way. That's an interesting observation. And also, now this movie reminds me of Abhiman from Bollywood, the old Amitabh Bachchan, Jaya Bachchan movie. And there was another movie with Jimmy Shergill and Neha Dhupia, which is like, how do you deal with a professional rivalry while being married? Like that is such an interesting psychological thing to dive into. And I feel like every couple is different, but it comes down to sportsmanship if they can handle something like that. But it's easier said than done, right? Like if you're competing against each other, especially in politics, you have to kind of not only promote yourself as a good politician, but you have to also put the other person down. And that's what the campaigning is about. So how do you deal with something like that? And at least from the trailer, what I felt was um, they both genuinely want to do good for the society. He even says in the trailer that this will destroy us, like he is worried about it. And she's so confident. She's like, nothing can destroy us. So it's interesting to see what actually happens and how they deal with it. This seems like many couples wouldn't be able to withstand something like this.
Definitely, I would think so. I mean, uh, politics, it's also about what you represent, and mostly, uh, like if you have a president, you have a first lady, you want to see a person in power who has a strong family bond. Here, they are fighting against each other, and then to prove that whoever one of us wins would be a good leader is also a strong thing to be able to prove. I mean, you're fighting with your husband, you're fighting with your wife. I mean, you're fighting against your own spouse, your life partner, and then you want to prove to the people that you are the best candidate. That's even tougher than you fighting with another candidate.
Yeah,
Just anybody.
yeah, and it seemed like she was taking the higher ground, like especially when the reporter asked her, like, you know, why are you better? Do you think you're even better than your husband? And she didn't really put her husband down. She said, what she said was, I'm really good, irrespective of the gender. So she
Yeah.
wasn't putting the husband down, but I would think maybe that's towards the beginning of the campaign, but who knows how things develop as the campaign develops, right? How do you keep professional integrity as well? Like, um, this was something that was explored in the American television show called Parks and Recreation, where the main character is going against another character, and she doesn't want to malign his image. She just wants to say, I am good. But people coax her, and along the process, then she gets to a point where she is pissed and she starts to malign him. You know, she reciprocates. Obviously she didn't start it because she's a good character, but the thing is, in these kind of equations, you're not the only one who's handling a campaign. There are other people too, and how their words affect you also matters, because you're not the sole person making decisions. On There's a campaign manager and a strategist and a data analyst and all that, who figures out, like, you know, what is the best way to move forward. And more often than not, it takes into account maligning the other person. Like, there are all these ads all the time, like, why is this person terrible, you know, rather than me being better. So I wonder, like, does this professional healthy rivalry proceed with, you know, like, still the loving relationship? um, in one shot they did see that both of them were coming out of the house and they went their separate ways, like, you know, I'm doing my thing, you're doing your thing. I don't know if that was an indication of there being a rift between the two, or them just being very motivated, you know. So it would be interesting to see how this develops.
Really, really interesting. I mean, this is I mean, on the psychological level, also, you would say that, how a married couple functions in various situations where you are, it's not for everybody that you would be fighting against as a candidate against your spouse. But then there are situations in life where your opinions don't match. And even then, are you able to make your marriage work or not? Are you able to put the situation aside and still be a couple and still love each other for whatever decision the other makes?
Yeah, and this isn't just about, like, I feel this isn't just about difference in opinions or opinions. This is way bigger than that. Like, for example, there are many couples where the guy doesn't want the woman to earn more because that makes him feel lesser, right? So this is about a larger point. This is about not just compatibility and opinions. I think this is about how secure are you as a person in case the other person gets ahead of you. Are you that secure that you can withstand something like this? And that's the larger question. Like, I feel like very few people are that secure, you know, very few people. And they seemed like a mature couple, right? But it would be interesting to see, like, do they evolve out of this? I hope that the movie is as well made as the trailer is, because this is a really interesting psychological deep dive. And although it is different for every couple out there, like, there is no rule book, you know, it's about compatibility. And it's like, really, you you are a good couple if you're lucky, like, you find a good partner if you're lucky. So is this really that kind of a couple or not, and how do they deal with it? Does that bring a rift between the two? And sometimes there are rifts that can never be mended. Sometimes that's the thing. Like, sometimes some things happen that always stay in your mind, and that changes the dynamic of your relationship, you know. So are they able to respect each other at the end of it or not? Like, those are the questions I would like to, you know, see addressed in the movie.
Now, this is one movie that I feel like, just shut off everything and just go watch the movie first of all. This is so intriguing. This is so intriguing.
Yeah, of all the movie trailers we saw, like, of course I have seen Lionheart, but this one I think I'm definitely gonna check out, like, this weekend. because I just find that very interesting, you know, how they deal with it. And I hope the makers have done a good job with like keeping it more realistic than esoteric. Like, you know, that doesn't mean it can't have a rosy end, but I do want to see some character exploration because they have set the bar high with this kind of a subject that they have chosen. So it would be interesting to see that.
True. And talking about the ending, I'm not really that much about what would the ending be. It could be just anything, but how they go through it, that is what really fascinates me at this point. I'm really interested in that.
Yeah, and
How they tackle with this.
yeah, and does it change the dynamic of their relationship? I would believe that this kind of a thing definitely would change the dynamic, but is it a healthy dynamic, or is it something else? Like, what does it become? You know, how do you evolve? What is your new normal with whatever happens? And you know what? It could be that neither of them win and there's a third candidate. But even irrespective of who wins, like it would still have affected your dynamic irrespective of who wins, because you went against each other. Like, should a
Right.
couple make a decision like that? Like, you know, and that depends on the personalities of the couple, but you cannot even predict that, because in the journey you change as a person. You cannot be campaigning as a politician unless you have that drive to win, you that you really want it, because that's a lot of effort and money and whatnot, like loss of mental peace and whatnot. So I would presume people going into a scenario like that have that drive that I really want to do this. So, and how does it affect your relationship? That's pretty interesting to watch. All right, guys. So if you liked our content, please subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, share our video, get the word out, and we would love to get any feedback that you have for us for our next videos. We only want to become better. So until then, fir milenge.
Guys, see you next time.